Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the Coily Crowns. I'm Miss Shantae.
And I'm Lori, and welcome to our Queendom.
Yes, so here at the Coily Crowns, we talk all things reality,
Mm-hmm.
particularly Married at First Sight.
Mm-mm.
We recap last week's episode and talk about all the drama and shenanigans that
Best
happens on the show.
episode. Yes. Mm-hmm.
You said that last week.
It was the best episode. No, I thought you said last
Last
week.
week?
We were last
Oh,
week,
you
not
were
this
saying
week.
last week was the best episode. I thought it was
Yeah.
more like this week was the best
No.
episode. Because I was
Mm-mm.
saying every week is going to be like the best episode as we get more, further into
More.
the process
Yeah,
and
that's true.
see more
But last week was better than
drama
this
and
week.
stuff.
We'll see. But next week look like it's gonna be Pastor Cal is coming, fireworks. So
Yes,
yes.
finally, right? Some action.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
before we begin our recap, be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the
Mm-hmm.
notification button so that you get notifications of when we go live to discuss
Yes.
Married at First Sight. We do this every Sunday around 4:30. So tune in and chat with us. So you have the
Yes.
opportunity to write in your comments. We see them as we're talking about the show and everything. So we want to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are of the about the show and the episode. So
Yes.
this was episode 7. They're
Mm-hmm.
still on their honeymoon, but it's like the end of the honeymoon. Um, and they're getting ready to head back home and move in into their apartment. So
Yes.
their last day of I'm like, I see your hands. Like, are you something about to happen?
No, so I just gave my notes to my 3-year-old. So I after I spent so much time. Go ahead. Sorry. Oh, let me take off my little
Oh, because on your
jacket.
phone.
Yeah, so hopefully I have muscle memory of what happened. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, we will start with the couple that had like the least amount of screen time, and really, there's nothing much to say. I have nothing much to say. It's just Shaq and Kirsten. They were on there for like 5 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the opening
Yes.
scene is I don't remember. I never remember the order of things. Let me
Well, that's what I
say
was
that.
gonna
But what
start
I
with
recall,
because it didn't. We didn't
the
start with
dinner,
couples. Yes, it really just started with Clint and
right?
Gina and the apology ish, and then it goes into the dinner. So that's where I was think we were gonna kind of start with it because there's no real couple by couple things that are
Okay. See,
happening for the
yeah,
most
you
part.
have to. I don't. I never remember the flow of how things went in
Okay.
order, so you don't have to help me there. I do
Yeah.
remember the dinner part. So before that, you're saying Clint and
So
Gina
it's
had a
Gina.
moment, and
Yes, Gina starts this whole episode off like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Like, he said that I wasn't slender enough, and I'm so upset, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, Gina, he did not say that. Number one, did not say that you were not slender enough. He's just saying
no, he
what
didn't.
you did, which is I typically don't like XYZ. And that doesn't mean he doesn't like you, but he probably felt a little slighted with you with the ginger comment. So now he's
Right.
telling you what he normally dates as well. And it ain't you, but that doesn't mean that he told you to go lose weight. That's not what he said. I don't know why you're making it to be this huge thing as if you didn't do something too.
Right. And we talked about that last week, right? Especially when she wouldn't talk to the girls. It was like
Mm-hmm.
they were pumping her up for something. We're like, it's not that terrible. Like, he didn't
Right.
call you fat or none of y'all fat. He
Nope.
gave his preference for what he dated in the past, just like you have done.
Right.
And most of the other girls have done as well. So it's like, why are y'all feeling like there's slander there? Like he was
Right.
attacking. And to go into, if you're okay, we can go
Yep.
back and forth, but going to the dinner scene, right?
Yep.
He gets up and is, I guess, giving an apology. I never heard an apology, but
Nicole
he
said
kind of was
none ever came. He was talking for
right
like 40 minutes on the after
for
party stage. It's like, how can you talk for 40 minutes at dinner
and never
standing
give an
up?
apology, right?
So he was just giving a whole soliloquy, is what Keisha called it on after party, and never apologized. But Gina did say that he apologized directly to her.
To her.
And I
Mm-hmm.
think that was only because of Eris, which, surprise, surprise, Eris with the most level headed conversations about someone else, no less, not himself.
Right? Because my
But
first question when he came up, I was like, wait, you going to Aries to ask for advice?
no, he wasn't
I didn't see
asking
that
for
coming.
advice. He wanted what Gina got. He wanted a group of
Oh, that
people
moment to
to
have to talk
rally,
to.
yeah, to rally about what he said and make sure that they were like, yeah, Clint, yeah, yeah, and they were both like, uh,
Your
mm.
approach, how you said it, probably just didn't come out the best.
Right.
Yeah.
He was trying to
But
get them
I mean,
on
he
his
still was
side.
like, Eris, I want to hear what you had to say. So,
Yeah,
and Eris surprisingly came with like
crazy.
some like actual like words that made sense and was like, okay,
Yes. This kind of
surprise.
this kind of goes into how much we really don't know about these people. Yeah, we're talking about them every
Mm-hmm.
day, but it's an edit. There's a slant to a lot of the things that we see. We don't know these people
Right.
in real life, so we don't know all of the dimensions of Eris, right? He still is gross with some of his comments, but that doesn't mean that he's just a one-sided person or a one-sided individual. And a lot of times we can dish out advice much better than what we can see in our
You take it.
own. Yeah, not just
Oh,
take it,
mm-hmm.
but we just don't even see that
Yeah,
we're
right.
wrong. Just like Clint thought he was not wrong at all. Thought he had no accountability or culpability in this argument. And Eris was just like, well, can you see it her way? Like how she could have taken it by that comment. And I think that kind of helped him apologize to Gina, even if he didn't really mean it. Because we could tell he didn't mean it by his long speech where he never actually apologized. So I don't know. It's very strange. Very strange.
It
But oh,
was.
I wanted to say this too about Nicole with her feeling that
That's
he
what I was
want.
about to go to.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Let's hear
No,
your
go
take.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just surprised how much she wanted Clint to apologize to her as if that's her man.
She was taking it so personal. That's what I was about to lead to. She really was taking it so personal. He flat out called her fat or something,
Right.
and it was like, why are you taking it? And I think that kind of probably goes back to some self-esteem issues that
Yeah,
they've
yeah, yeah. I
alluded to
forgot
in the
about that.
past in the beginning. But
Hmm.
again, he not your man. Like, why still are you taking it so personal?
Just calm down, girl. Relax. And then she's like,
Yeah.
well, if Gina's willing to forgive you, then I guess we all will. Girl, hush. Hush, girl. Hush. First of all, Gina did not forgive him, but she's willing to just move on. Okay. She don't care
Right.
at this point. She don't want to be with him. She's just like, let's just ride this wave. Because the fact that they just patched that up so quickly, I was just like, what happened here? Y'all going to dinner after that big old blow up where you were just like,
Right.
I
And
can't
it
even.
was 2 hours later. I was like, well, dang, that was real quick.
I was like, I think she just was like, you know what? I don't even care. You know, when you're at the end of like a long relationship where you've been back and forth and you're just like, I don't even care about you no more. I don't even care what you say. Yes, blame me. Yes, I don't care. Oh, I'm horrible. Don't care. I think she's just in that like, meh.
He was like, this our last night in Jamaica. Let's just go and get this over with
Yeah,
and
let's go
get
to
back
dinner.
home.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Come on. Let's go. Oh my
So,
gosh.
okay, so at the dinner, right,
Yes.
they start going around. Gina started this, I think, conversation, right? They
The
start going
producers
around.
started this. Let's just call this what this is. Every season at the honeymoon, they ask someone to bring up what would you rate your relationship as it stands right now? Why? I don't like it. It makes no sense. The ratings are not real. I understand they want to capture conversations at the dinner table, I guess, about something, but there's no
Mm-hmm.
other question that would start a conversation other than let me put a number to a person I met a week ago. Like, why? Why?
If they didn't do it, we would have nothing to talk about.
They
That's
could find
the point.
another question. Is that I'm just saying I get the produced aspect because you need something to record, right? That
Yeah.
it's gonna be that would include all the couples because you don't want a one-sided conversation, side conversation. It's not gonna be that interesting. But there's got to be another question. Find one of those games, those little marriage game, card games. Ask a random question instead of that. I even like when they play those like what do you call it, newlywed games and stuff like that, because you just get different questions that you oh no, are you frozen? Oh,
I was. I'm
you
back
look
now.
so like you were really listening to me. I felt like you
I
were
was like, I see you like
engaged.
just going. I'm like,
I
dang.
mean, I would rate this conversation a 10, and you were frozen. It's so amazing. Okay, sorry. But yes, they do the rating thing. Which ones do you remember? It's so dumb. I hate it. Go ahead.
Okay. We can go with Shaq and
Ugh,
Kirsten.
okay, they're 2 seconds of
Everybody
how
rated
long they're on it.
themselves again, like you said, terrible. They really shouldn't. But then I'm like, be realistic, y'all. Again, it's
Mhm.
been 1 week. Why are y'all giving these high scores?
Because you
So
cannot give
Kristen
a low
and
score. You can no, okay. You cannot be realistic and you're starting off this marriage like this. You cannot give somebody a 4. The only reason why Gina and Clint did their ratings because they don't like each other right now. They just argued today. Everybody else, you cannot do that. You can't.
I feel like I would be like, we're a weekend. Let's give it the 5 days it has been a 5.
You
Like,
are not going to do that. You are not going to do that.
no.
Or tell it not if you like the person and you feel like you've been vibing with the person. You're not going to give them no 5. Mm-mm.
So Kirsten and Shaq gave each other 7 out of 10. The scale is out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Who
both.
started that?
Oh, and
Was it
huh?
Shaq? Who said it first? Shaq?
Yes. Most
Okay.
of the guys said it first, I think, and then the
Okay.
women
So
did.
then I don't believe Kirsten then. But go ahead.
Oh no, of course not. And that's why she actually kind of looked at him so he can give it first, because she would have been. You think she would have been higher or lower? I
Lower.
think she would have gave lower. Okay,
Lower.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'm about there. So the question was, how would you rate overall, right? Taking into consideration looks, I guess emotional,
Mm-hmm.
connection, like everything, like as a package, not just
Mm-hmm.
looks. So 7 was theirs. Um, who you want to go to next?
I see I had this on my notes.
Okay,
Let's
we'll stick with
say
Gina and Clint since they started it. They were
okay.
kind of the last couple to go
Yeah.
to give theirs,
Mm-hmm.
but they said 5 point. Gina said 5 out of 10. Clint said 5.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that seemed more realistic to me. Again, y'all just had a little beef, but
It wouldn't if
again,
they
you don't
had
really.
that, they would have said higher. If they
You
didn't
think they
have that,
would have?
yes. Yes. I'm telling you, yes. They would have said
So
higher.
they would have said probably about 7 too.
Mhm.
Everybody was like,
7
yeah,
is
they
safe.
saying the 7 range,
Right.
right?
7 is safe. It doesn't seem that low. It's a C. It's a passing grade. It can go because we just met each other. Anything lower than that,
Right.
you go look at your partner like, dang, what did I do? Okay, I guess. So yeah, he was just like, oh, I'll give it a 5.5 because I like where we are right now. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You do not.
No, you don't. Why? Like, what is this? But yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, so that's them two. Then we can go to Nicole and Chris.
Oh God. Go ahead. Yes.
They gave such an odd number, a 8.2 out of 10.
But
And he said it
I
first.
would definitely do that. That's exactly
I mean,
what was in my brain. It was an
you
8.2.
really,
No.
really,
No.
really.
Stop.
And he was like, well, I did guess your name. Y'all was not both gonna say 8.2, but I believe them for sure that 8.2.
Oh,
Everything has
okay.
been going
Yes.
luckily for them. There's that
She would have said
connection. They
higher.
had
She would have said
Huh?
higher. She would have said like 9.
She would have said higher. Right.
Yes.
But it's still, I can see her saying 9, right? Because of course we're not perfect. We just met. So
Mm-hmm.
9 for her. But I can see both of them being 8.2. So you want to stick with them or go through everybody's ratings?
Yeah, let's just keep going around.
Okay. And then let's see.
Dom and
Dom
Matt.
and Matt.
Oh, God.
Now I know they were straight up lying, right?
But
They both.
when I called out people who was like, I think people are lying. And I was like, yes, you,
right?
I'm sorry.
They gave a 7.5. Y'all,
Stop it.
y'all might be at a 3, and that's only because y'all have been able to tolerate each other.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, you're definitely not no 7.5. So they
yes.
gave theirs. And then Jasmine and Aries. Jasmine went first this time. So other couples, the guys went, right? Jasmine went first, and she gave a 7.
Aries knew better than that. Aries like, I'm not going first. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I know better.
And that is when Matt called him out talking about. Oh no, was it Matt? Or was it Chris? I think it was Chris that said people are lying. Wasn't it him?
Max said people are lying, but it was like in a confessional. Okay. So we don't know who he was talking about. It was edited to put it right after Aries gave his rating. Okay.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean he was actually talking about him. But everybody at the dinner table basically were lying, except for Chris. I would even say Nicole was lying. I would say the only person that was telling the truth was probably Chris. Because even that 5 rating, 5 was probably lower for Gina and Clint, but they were like, let me give you a couple.
It was totally lower for her. Totally lower for her. But yeah, so when Aries gives his rating, right? Yes. Which he says he agreed, right? I mean,
he gave her a 7. She gave it a 7.5. She gave it a 7.5. She said, I'll give it a 7.5, 8.
7.
Okay. And
she did.
Then he said, I'll give it a 7. That's all I can do.
And then they flash back. So then Max says about the lying, and then they flash back to Aries giving her a 4.5 in the looks part.
But that was just looks. I don't know why they try to make it seem like that was the overall point of the relationship. It was just about looks. So that's why I think it doesn't really go all together, but they're trying to make this whole unattractive thing a little bit more of a storyline. But okay.
Of course. But yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, why y'all gonna show that when he was just talking about looks? And this is like a whole overall thing. Right. So then right after that, right? So Jasmine is talking about why she kind of gave it that, and she's still hung up on that he's never been in love before.
Why do we have to go through that up?
And then Chris, is like, so Aries, do you think you can ever fall in love with Jasmine?
I hated this whole dinner. I would be like, I didn't even see nobody eating. I'd be like, can we just leave? Can I get room service? I don't even want to eat no more.
It was terrible. It was totally scripted. Like Lori said from the beginning, it's the producers in their ears like, okay, you're going to ask this question, then you're going to say this, and then this is what. Okay, go.
And so obvious too. It didn't even feel natural. Like the questions didn't. It just was just like, ugh, what is happening? I didn't see anything. And on After Party, oh, okay, maybe we should talk about that later. But I want to make a point that on After Party, they put a snippet of this montage with Dom and Mac and how they were towards each other. And I wish I would have saw that on the episode, because then you can see how people are acting with each other. These questions don't show me anything about chemistry. It doesn't show me if people are getting along, nothing. And that little snippet, I was just like, oh, I saw a different side of Mac and Dom that I didn't see on TV on the main episode at all. And I'm like, I wonder why they just took all the natural parts out. Like, is it really just not so interesting, or they just feel like they can't edit it into the scene to like trim it down to what they want to show?
And I think it
So,
goes with their narrative of how they want to present each couple, right? So like
I
right now
guess.
they're the you know, it comes across like they're just going to be really button heads. We've already
Yeah.
seen previews of future episode where obviously they something happens between them. So I think
Hmm.
when they go to the editing, they just decide we got to cut that out because then it wouldn't go with the
The
flow of the
narrative.
story, of the narrative
Okay.
that we want to give. But in that clip that Laura's talking about, they're like real lovey lovey,
Yeah.
like on each other, close up. They even leave after
Yeah.
the dinner. They said they had like a little dance or something, and they
Hmm.
leave together. So it's like, okay, so obviously y'all got something going on
Right.
here.
And we don't see that. Even when they had their little
We don't see
pool
that.
thing, it seems still seemed real awkward to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks so much more natural. It did not look awkward at all. They looked like they were giggling, having a good old time. Maybe they were drunk. I don't know. But it looked good. It looked much
Yeah,
better than I've seen
right.
in any other scene. So,
Again, it gives us more dimensions to each person,
right.
each character, or couple, each couple. Is what I
Right.
want to say there.
Right. Okay.
Um. Okay. So, anything else with the dinner?
Yes.
Specifically, you want to
So,
talk about? What else?
that whole question that you said with Chris about him asking Eris, could he fall in love? And he was just like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I could fall in love, blah, 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 blah. But he never really said, I can fall in love with Jasmine. Like, he never said, I could fall in love with this girl right here. And it was so general that I would get there. But I was just like, Eris, just tell that girl you don't like her. Just cut it out.
Well, let's just stick with them then and go to a scene later, right? Where
Yes.
they're having breakfast. And if it's not, is it the morning that they're getting ready to
Yes.
leave? I don't know the
Yes.
timeline, but
It's the next
they're
morning.
eating breakfast and they're
Mhm.
talking. And then he gets to the point that he basically says he's just getting friend vibes with her.
Mhm.
So that definitely does not help the situation, right? And it's not going to help Jasmine feel like this man's going to be able to fall in love with her because he already coming out the block saying I'm basically getting on his friend vibes and that's it.
Yeah. But we're missing so much context here, right? So
Of
that
course.
morning, he goes for exercise or run by himself, comes
Go to the
back.
gym.
She
Mhm.
has breakfast for him. He's like, oh, thank you so much for having breakfast for me. Ugh, so
The
annoying.
me time stuff.
Yeah, so he needed my me time and I need to go do my stuff. And I'm glad that you have breakfast waiting on me. I appreciate that, right? And um she kind of starts off like, it's a lot of complicated stuff going on, blah, 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 blah. And then on the after party, we find out the tea of what happened that morning. So I was just
Okay.
like, what is going on?
That was
Apparently,
some good tea. That was some good tea.
but
They should have had
but
that on the show. Why didn't they
they
put that on?
should have had that on the show, and it sets the tone of this conversation of the friend thing. Because if you just meet someone and you're like, I'm feeling friendly vibes, you can move past that. That's why they have sexologists or whatever to try to get more intimate with your partner that you just met, because you did
Right.
literally just meet them, right? But you got to think of what happened. Either, I don't know, it was the night before or that morning, that they're sitting around looking at their phones, which I didn't even think you could have your phones, but apparently you can. And
Yeah.
you they're going on Instagram, like following each other, and they realize people that they know in common, and they're going down the list of saying, oh, how do you know this person? Oh, how do you know that person? And they run into a girl that he had been seeing right before he got picked for the show, not before he signed up for the show. During the signing up and going through the interviews, doing all that kind of stuff, he was still dating this girl and sleeping with this girl. And when he got picked, he ended it like that day. And she was just like, wait, but I know that girl. So now, not only do you see me as a friend, you was also hunching somebody that I know while you were in this process and looking at herself. She's like, I would have not done that. I cut everything off. I made sure that was clear, free and clear before I signed up for this
Right.
program, for the process or whatever. And you were still kind of going, doing whatever you wanted to do until the day that you were matched. And I'm sure all of that in context of the friend thing is kind of like, dang, what is going
You
on?
didn't want to be married.
Yeah.
You did not want to be married. Why did you sign up for this?
Yeah. And then had the nerve. So this is what, see, this is the conundrum I have with Eris. He had the nerve to tell her, this girl, that, oh, well, I know you would be there for me if I got an accident tomorrow. And if I needed somebody to wipe my ass, I know you would do it for me.
I
And
don't know
she
why you
said
think that.
nothing. She said nothing. She didn't say, so would you wipe mine? Or where's your mama at? Since you only child, she could wipe your ass. Not me. I did not
Listen, I
sign
don't
up
know
to
you like
wipe your
that.
ass on TV.
I do not know you like that.
I was just like, how do you go? Like, was a glimpse of what he's doing in his brain, is that she's beautiful. She likes me more than I like her, but she's such a good person. Like, she would be such a good friend. So maybe I should wife her because she would be there if I ever needed
Mm.
somebody. That is not all you're getting out of a marriage. What are you doing for her, sir? What?
No, it's all about him. We saw that from the beginning,
Well,
right? When they first arrived in the
yes.
honeymoon, he's like, "Feed me,
Yeah, but now it's
do this
worse.
for me."
Now when they moving in,
It,
it's even worse. I was
it's
just like, well, let's keep going. So that's the
So I wanted to
morning.
go back. I
Oh,
looked at my notes, right?
oh,
And so back at the dinner party, and they were talking about what's going on, and he made a comment like, "This is nuts!" Like, being married and during this whole process. And I'm just thinking to myself, did you not know what you were signing up for? You knew what you were
no,
signing for.
no.
How is this nuts that you signed up, went through this whole process, through all the testing to get here, and then be like, "This is nuts"?
This is his cousin. Where's she at? Does she have an earpiece in his ear? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. His wife. Oh my God. So now he's on that train. Now we see how they related. This is crazy, Eris. Why did you come on this show? How did you get
Why?
picked? Can we call Pastor Cal? Call us. Dr. Pepper. Why? Why did he get on this show? I don't understand. Oh, yes.
No sense at all.
No.
And I just think it has to be. You telling me this is all that y'all had to choose from? He was like the last of the best of the candidates
If
that y'all
you're
had to choose from.
homeless and
If you're home,
never been in love, that should be the tagline. This is a show for you. That should be on the billboards. Because I don't know. Because we find out that Jasmine is homeless. Well, not homeless, but she's living at home with 13
transition. She's in the middle of a
dogs.
transition, girl.
13 dogs, and you're at home.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and stick with them. You okay
Yes.
with that? And then we'll just
Yes,
go through
yeah.
each
I
couple
think
for
that
the rest of the
was,
show.
yeah, we could do that for the rest. Go ahead.
Okay. So staying with Jasmine and Eris, as Lori just said, they get back right from the honeymoon. They're starting to move in together into the apartments.
Yes.
So
but
they
wait, did you
they go
notice?
to the apartment.
Okay, so they're on the plane. They go back. They take a little cam. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, they do a little selfie cam that they're going on the plane, whatever. They go back and they're supposedly in their apartment the first night. But did she have braids or did she have like weave? Because I was like, wait, when is this? Because her hair was different.
I have to go back
and so I was like, wait, how many days has it been? And who gets braids just for a week vacation? That's it? You just take it back?
Not
That's
really.
too much work. That's too much
Not
work. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Hmm.
I'd be looking at people's hair a little bit too much. Okay. So, yes, the next step is that they go ahead. What happened?
Oh no, I'm saying now I got to go back
Oh,
and watch and see.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so they supposedly get back and go straight to the apartment, and as they're going through the apartment, this dude is going through, and again, this might be a little out of order. Laura can piece it together, but this is
Mhm.
what I remember, right? So they come back like most apartments. They have stuff from like the wedding. So they have like their little
Mhm.
welcome banner. Then they have some other things that's like bride and groom or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, this is too much. Like you were married. Like this
I don't
is
know.
kind of what comes with that territory, right? You know, little cute Mr. Mrs. Cups and glasses. They had on their Mr. and Mrs. shirts or hubby and
Yes.
wife shirts or something, right?
Yep.
So then as they're going through the apartment, he's making these executive decisions and saying, "This is my side of the bathroom and my drawer, and this is my side of the closet." Not giving a damn about her, not even asking
Mm-mm.
what's your preference. No, no, no.
Mm-mm.
I'm just making a decision. This is mine, and that's that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like there weren't already red flags flying. I'm like, right
Oh, you're
now, I feel like at the airport, Jasmine, exit. Here's your exit right here.
listen. Make sure
Like,
you take off
get
them
out.
shoes while you waving them flags, okay? Because you cannot wear shoes.
That part too.
And make sure your people know when they come over here, they also cannot wear shoes in the house.
Oh yeah, because that was at his house, right? So when they go to his apartment, is that
No,
right person?
no,
Lord,
that
I'm
was
confused. Oh, that
it
was
was
in
the
this apartment. They
same
asked that. Okay.
night, and he was like, "Oh, that's right, because you and them dogs, that y'all
So you
different."
in and out. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Because she got dogs. So that was all the
This
same
man.
night. She said, "Oh, I'm realizing my husband's really bossy." You just realized that? Okay, sure,
Right?
sure,
She
okay.
was just like, okay, well, she was taking it all in. I guess it was still very new.
Hmm.
But, you're bossy. Um,
Oh my
I think of
gosh.
another word.
But yeah, so they
Um,
also
what else?
mentioned that they were in apartment 313, and that
Mm.
was his dad grew
The-
up in Detroit, and that's their
Yeah, the area code for Detroit.
okay. So he was like, "Oh, I feel like this is like my dad speaking to me that maybe this is a good thing because we're in this number, whatever." He's very tied to his dad in like, like people just see signs and different things. So it looks like he's just looking for something to say that what I'm doing is not crazy because I
It's
feel like
right.
he thinks it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy right now. So I think that's all I remember from that first night after the honeymoon. Yeah. So the next day, in their storyline, they go to visit his house. His
Mm-hmm.
house looks nice. Like I don't remember seeing anything. All I remember from the matchmaking special is his empty closet. All I remember. I don't remember none of this house like
That's all
looking
they.
like this.
You're right.
So his house looks nice. He has like a home gym. He has a man cave. It's very bachelor pad ish, but he's a single
Mm-hmm.
guy, so it could look like that. And she looks like, oh, okay, so he does work out a lot. That he wasn't just using that as an excuse. Yes, he was. You're on a honeymoon, and if he wanted to work out, he would have invited you to come along with, or he would have went before you woke up. That was he needed to get away from you for a second because you just found out who his side piece was. I mean, it's not a real side piece, but we just had that whole fight or whatever. So he went around how, oh, this is where the guys hang out. This is what I would want here. This is what I need here. And she was like, okay, you can have all this as long as I have a beauty room or whatever. He was just like, all right, you can do that. Anyways, let's go over here. Go in his room. All his shoes are in like clear boxes. It's neat. It's not like he had stuff
Organized.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He had his dad next to his bed, a picture of his dad
That's obituary.
and
Mm-hmm.
the obituary and a picture of him too, because it was the same picture
Yeah.
that was in his necklace that he wears. So he was just talking about how, difficult that was, and how his dad dying at 11 kind of made him always feel like that little boy who's waiting for his dad to come back. So that was really sad. And she was, at least learning something more about him, and maybe will help color some of the decision and things that he does, other than being an only child, I guess. Um, that he's also kind of missing a big piece of his, his father coming up.
Right.
So then he also mentions his uncle died 2 days before that. I was like, golly. So it was a
He
double
had a double
funeral.
funeral.
Lord. So I'm sure that kind of pushes. I don't know. I don't know how that affects him, but I'm sure that's something Jasmine would look out in the future to see how that will affect their relationship, if there is one. I don't know. So that's all I remember from that home visit, because they never went to
Um,
hers in
they
this
didn't.
episode.
So was it during that part where they talked about? Oh no, she mentioned the transition part on the after show.
Yes, I didn't know she was homeless too.
Yeah, so she's staying at home with her parents, but she mentioned it was not her childhood home. But it still is home for her. And
I'm
as she
wondering if
transitioned, but they
when
didn't give
she
more
said
information about that.
no, but I'm wondering if she's transitioned from living with her boyfriend. Is that
That's
the
what I was just about to
transition?
say.
Oh, okay.
I
I
think
was
that's what it, because
confused.
it was like it was only like 5 or 6 months ago, I think she said on a previous episode or on a previous after party that they had broke up. It had only been months. So I
Yeah.
think that might have been she
Okay.
broke up, moved back home, and then probably decided to do this process and maybe decided to wait and see what
Okay.
happens and then go from there.
Yeah. I don't know how you have so many dogs in your mama and daddy's house, but okay. Yeah, so we'll see, I guess, if they go to her house. Oh yeah, they do. They did a preview because he was playing with her crowns and stuff like that. So they do go to her
Oh yeah,
house
yeah.
next
Ne-
episode.
mm-hmm.
I don't think they had anything else this.
No, I think that was it for them.
Okay. Who else you got on these notes?
Yeah.
Because I don't have mine.
So since we're talking about people transitioning, we can go to Dom and Mac.
Oh my god. Yes.
So as Lori's already said, Mac is homeless. He's living out of a family friend's house in their basement. And so when Dom goes to the house to see this, she's kind of like, well, where's your stuff? Man don't have no stuff, right? Like he's living out of a basement. And so she's like, it's hard to like get to know him and know anything
Mm-hmm.
about him when there really isn't anything there. So he also mentions he's only been there for 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we may have talked about that before, that it was like he just got there, which I'm convinced again, he saw an ad for this show while he was living in California. It was like, yo, I'm going to go be on TV. So Nashville, I'm going to Nashville to try out for Married at First Sight so I can find me a wife, get me temporary housing, right? At this at the apartment that we'll share, and then I'll just like move in with her. That's my plan. Like
So
that was the plan.
this is my thoughts about this.
Okay.
Dom could ask more questions to get to know Mac if she wanted to. I don't think you need to see a house full of stuff to be like, oh, okay,
No.
this is, But I think she was trying to make a point that basically you're homeless. Like you own nothing in here, you have no stuff. You go in this little room that he's in, and there's a whole family wall of other people that are not related to him whatsoever. It was so awkward. I was like, you just wake up and just see a whole bunch of other people.
These pictures.
And so he's like, yep, that's my other family and whatever. And I think she just wanted to press in that this is terrible. Like, you moved here basically to be on this show, and they don't want to say that because maybe she did say it, and maybe they cut that out and be like, nope, not doing that. Not supposed to know this is a TV show. They're just supposed to make it feel natural. And she was just like, oh, what happened? Go ahead.
No, you might be getting there because my next thing was when she was talking right during like the confessional, and this might actually been in the car. They were in the car, leaving his house or so,
Mhm.
and she asked the right question. She was like, "So he kept saying how he wasn't ready to commit to an apartment. He wanted to
Right.
get there, kind of check out the scenery and all that before he just jumps into an apartment."
Mhm.
And so she was like, so you're willing to jump into a marriage, but you're not willing to jump into an apartment?
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
I think okay, so she says that he went from Michigan to California. Did she say back to Michigan and then Nashville, or
No, I think it
California
was
to
to
Nashville?
Nashville.
Okay. So what has been the working theory that's been going on in the interwebs is that Mac actually yeah, Mac actually applied to be on San Diego and was going to be on the show, but he didn't make it. And then the next place was Nashville, and he knew people in Nashville, and that's why he moved for the show. And the reason why I'm like, I feel like this theory gives credence is who moves to a whole nother state to get on this dating show. That's number one. And it has no like there's no other reason why you're there other than this show because he moved for love. Okay.
For love.
And
Mm-hmm.
for love. And then you're staying in somebody's house and you're saying, oh, I come here all the time, but you have no family there, or you wouldn't be staying with these your best
And your
friend's family.
friend whose house this is doesn't even
Don't
live there.
even
Your
live
friend on the
there.
other side of the country.
So it kind of makes it seem like he really just wants to be on this show.
On
And maybe
TV.
he would
Mm-hmm.
have gotten, maybe he got like close to the would have accepted, and maybe he figured out that if he goes to Nashville, they'll actually give him a spot on this show. Because which is what happened with Mark the Shark. Apparently, he applied for Boston that first season, didn't get in, and then they put him on the second season when they were in Boston again. Not second season, but the second time they were in Boston. So I'm wondering if this actually makes sense because it what he says, his storyline is bananas. Like nothing he says makes sense. Other and now they've created, people on the internet create all kinds of stuff. But that makes more sense than what he talked about.
That
So
makes a lot of sense. And it goes back to what I said. He saw this billboard and was like, I'm going.
I'm
So,
going.
yes, that makes a lot of sense. I support that theory. So
And
he
that
was in San Diego last season trying
yes,
to do it and then moved to Nashville
yes.
just in time to qualify in
Like it
the
was
interview for
perfect
Nashville.
timing. He was like, I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm not gonna get an apartment. Why? I want to make sure that I make it on this show first. That's probably why his parents was like, dude, stop this. We'll give you money. Is that what the problem is? We will
Is this
give
what
you
you
fifty
need?
thousand
Right.
dollars. Like we will find you a wife. We'll get one from some other country. You be on 90 Day Fiance, and then we're good. Sit down. And so Dom's hesitation of, are you actually going to be here next week, is valid. Like you don't know where you want to live. And I have all my roots are here. My friends are here. And I wanted to marry someone that was willing to stay here. And then if we decide together
Right.
to move, that's fine. But what's your plan? Like, what's your long-term goal here? And he don't seem like he has one.
He has one. He doesn't. He's in the
So
presence of, I'm on the show, get on the show, find some housing, and then we'll figure it out from there.
so from like I told y'all from the jump, nothing he says makes sense to me. I don't know what's going on with him, but whatever he's presenting is not for real. And I could see things are starting to crack with him, especially conversations he's having with Dom because she keeps pushing him to be like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, you're complaining a lot, or dude, you're doing this, you're doing that. And he's starting to crack. He's starting to be like, girl, leave me alone. Leave me alone. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with them. They kind of stopped real awkwardly on them because we just went to his place I didn't even see a preview of them going to her place the next episode.
They
Um,
don't, but what they do show is her basically saying, I'm not staying here.
yeah,
Like, I'm going to my house to take a bath. And so it's like,
yeah,
okay, so does that mean she doesn't move in?
yeah. I don't know if
Tune
they
in
have.
next week to find out.
It doesn't look like they have a 2-bedroom anymore. I feel like they took that away because
They don't
usually
have a
there's
two bedroom?
another room so that
You're
people
right.
won't feel like to go home.
You
You can stay here, just not sleep with the person. So I
right.
don't know.
I didn't get a good look at the apartment to see if there was another room. So I'm
Usually
not
they
sure.
make an
Okay.
effort to be like, oh, here's another bathroom, or okay, I'm gonna keep my stuff over here in this other bathroom so you have space. And I didn't see a lot of that. It was like one closet, one bathroom, one bed. And usually they show like, oh, there's more in the apartment, but I didn't see nothing. Nothing, nothing. But
Hmm.
yes. So who else we got?
We didn't see Gina and Clint move in or anything, so nothing with them. Um, so then
No. Did we not even see them come back? Oh yeah, we did. We saw them come
we see
back.
them walk in, but they don't show like they show each couple kind of walking into their apartment, and you see kind of like the wedding
No,
welcome
but they
sign.
did. But they talked about the dog
What else?
situation. It was brief, but he was asking about where's Hank stay in the day, and she was just like, "Well, he can't come to the
Oh,
salon," and he was like, "Oh, I'm so
was they in the
excited."
apartment then?
Hmm. Yeah,
See,
I'm
I don't even remember this stuff. Okay. Yes, I do remember the conversation. I just don't remember
Yeah,
where
it
and
wasn't
what happened.
much.
But yeah.
It wasn't much. He was just like, "Oh, I'm excited
Yeah,
to
I
have a
didn't
dog
understand the
again
question of where would the dog be? Like, why wouldn't he be at the
at home."
apartment?
I feel like he was just like, "What do we talk about? Oh, let's talk about your dog."
Right. And it's
Yeah.
like he can go to work with you. Go to work. Don't he work from
I-
home? So what is she taking the dog to back
Oh, maybe to his house because maybe he doesn't remember once he said somebody went home to work from home. They didn't work at the
to work from
apartment.
home? Hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know, child. It was frivolous. It wasn't much. It was just
Okay. So let's use the dog conversation to segue into Nicole and
child.
Chris, right?
Oh my
So
god.
we did get to this part. So we have to go back to the honeymoon last day, and
Mhm.
they show Chris crying. Girl, I thought somebody had died. I was like, oh my gosh, like what a terrible way to start, this marriage or in the honeymoon, right? Made me even go back to think of um who the couple from Atlanta, that just Vincent, when his grandmother got
Oh
was sick and
yes.
they were
Yeah.
in Vegas. I'm just like, oh, the timing of that.
Yeah.
I really thought somebody had died. And it turns out that he had just got the news that they can only have 2 dogs at the apartment. He has 2, Nicole has 1, so therefore 1 dog wasn't going to make it. I was like, what? Is this what he crying over? I'm sorry to y'all dog lovers.
Boo
I had
hoo
a dog,
crying.
but
Boo hoo
it it
crying.
it it.
Sir.
And I was like, oh, Nicole, she was good in that moment. She was really good in that
Child.
moment. Cause I would have been like, is this what you crying over? I thought somebody dead. You don't feel crying over this. We'll figure it out. And she was just there to help comfort him. So what ended up being the solution? Oh, so then she was like, well, if I have to not give the dog up, but like let her
Mhm.
dad watch the dog. And then he was like, well, I'm gonna take the dog back to Florida. She was like,
I
well,
can't do
if
it.
that's what we have to do.
Oh my god. I was just like, is this for real? Like they were on the after so Stasha, okay, who's on the after party? Nicole,
Jasmine
Jasmine, and Stasha from
and
last
Sasha,
season
yeah.
was on the after party. So Stasha was like, y'all have these dogs got your hemmed up.
She was laughing. They were all laughing. They were like, it's not
Oh
funny,
my
but yeah.
And Nicole was not having it. She's like, you ain't gonna talk,
She
you
was
not gonna talk about my man like that. She was like, man, is this like a flashback? She's like, I feel like I'm in a matrix with Justin and his dog. And I'm thinking, this is totally different, actually. I can see why Justin was upset because his dog actually got put in dog jail. Okay. He had to go away into well, they said it was obedience training, but it really wasn't. It looked like a place that
it
you
looked like the
send
jail.
dogs.
It was all the way out. They had the little cages. It looked like it was doggy jail. Yes.
He had to go do visitation.
He was locked up.
They
We'll
won't
let
let
him
me
out.
I'm sorry.
Akon.
Oh my God. So, first we will not talk about Akon because ick. Okay. Anyways, we'll talk about that another time. Offline.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
this is a whole separate situation where there could be a resolution to this. First of all, why isn't Lifetime stepping up and making them have 3 dogs in the apartment? Stop it. We've had so many pets in one apartment before, like millions of
Not
cats.
only that, I was like, y'all
multitudes
knew
of
when y'all
dogs.
set this up what the
Right.
rules were going to be. How did y'all not like communicate this to them so they can make the arrangements? Why is he finding out the
Now.
day before they move back?
Right. And you
Y'all just
knew
want
he
the
had
drama.
to board the dogs. So he must have, you had an opportunity to be like, okay, I'm going out of town. I have to do this with my dog. What's the next stage? Because obviously all our pets are coming with us. There's nobody else there.
Right.
So I don't understand how you're just finding out about this and why they couldn't make arrangements to make sure that all the pets are there. That makes no sense to me. And then for Lifetime or Meredith or whoever runs this show, you do like storylines on these dogs. Like they've had little montages with the dogs. It's like a part of the show. So how do you not
Every
consider
season there's a couple with the dog. So you
on.
have been through this before, many, many, many times before.
Yeah, this was kind of, it was messed up. For me, I would not be crying, boohoo crying. I would be more upset. Like y'all gonna do something. So you figure it out. Or these dogs coming in here. What y'all gonna do? Kick me out? Okay. You won't get your film. Okay. Anyways, I'll be at my house. I don't have to stay here. She can come with me. So you figure it out. You won't have your footage. Now what? I just don't understand. So yeah, it was just unnecessary for her to go.
And those were real tears. Like at first I would have been like, okay, maybe they did, and they'd be like, okay, we need you to like react like you're sad. But no, those were
this is what color he was right here after he finished crying.
Real tears during that whole thing. So, and one of the options too Nicole had brought up was that if her dad, I guess, stayed and watched her dog, they could basically rotate the dogs in, right? So they had 2 dogs at one time. That just seemed like too much. But then, but after the after party, right? She said the dog ended up going back with her dad, I think. And I mean, and again, it's 8 weeks or 7 weeks at this point.
Yeah,
we already 1 weekend. I think y'all would have been okay. The dog having him boarded or whatever, and he can come back whenever they figure out what they're going to do, stay together or not. So
listen, it happened to the right people. Anybody else in this equation, if this happened to Eris and Jasmine was boohoo crying, he would have been like, "I quit. Just tap me out. No, I'm not doing that."
Like I already don't want to come in with 13 dogs. This is my this is my excuse to get on out of here. Now it's not me. Oh, it's not you, it's me and the dogs. I can't do.
I go back to the wedding. He's like, can I call somebody on this? Can I call the county? This sounds illegal to have all these dogs.
That's what you already
do. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
A mess. Just a hot mess. I was just like, yo, are you serious? So he does like really like appreciate her, says thank you to her that she came up with a solution, that she didn't just basically break down with him, because then that would solve nothing. And then they get back and they're talking about it, and Nicole asked this man, do you love me? And he's just like, no, but not yet. Like, what? She's like, good, me either. Girl, stop.
Why are you setting him up? Yes, because she knows as soon as he would have said yes, she would have been like, I love you too.
Girl, stop. And they still
Why are you
haven't slept
trying?
together, which I think is weird. When she was like all ready for that before she met
Yeah,
him.
we talked about that last week, right? Yeah, at that point, none of the couples had slept together. Not one had even seen each other naked, and they definitely would have been on my money that by now they would have slept together.
Yeah, but then,
So
we kind of skipped over that with Dom and Mac because on the after party, they kind of insinuated that Dom and Mac kind of left the dinner early after they were all
no, we
super
talked about
flirty.
it.
Oh, okay. I just don't know if they actually slept together or not.
No, we don't know, but like we were talking earlier, they seem a lot more comfortable with each other than
Yes.
they usually show on camera.
Yeah.
And with them going and slipping out, it alludes to that they probably want to do some hanky panky stuff.
Hanky
Mm-hmm.
panky. Yep.
Hunching, as Lori says.
That's hunching. I know we skipped past Kirsten and Shaq because they really were not on the episode, but they did have a small segment after they came back to the apartment and they were discussing laundry and how they should do
Totally
laundry
forgot about that part. Yeah.
and how they like laundry done. And I was like, what is
Filler stuff.
happening? And then I think he also kissed her on the forehead, and I was like, this is 7? Okay, got it.
And you know what they also did during that scene? They kept showing her hand. Like her hand was kind of on his leg, but it didn't look like it really was touching. So, and it was her ring finger. It's like they kept flashing that, and I didn't know why they kept flashing because it wasn't like she was rubbing his leg or anything to kind of give like, oh, okay, she's getting comfortable with him. It was just her hand on his leg. I was like, what is this? I didn't get that.
Yeah,
you don't remember that part?
Maybe I wasn't paying attention because when they started talking about laundry, I was like, I'm tuning out for a second. Probably went to go get a snack or something. I don't know. What is this?
Yeah, that whole part filler. Like, this is the scenes we did not need. You could have put in the footage of Dom and Matt.
Yes.
To give us like, oh, what's going on there?
Yes. I would have loved to see that. But so I guess next week we're gonna finish out the home visits, possibly, and then Pastor Cal comes, and apparently nobody wants to live with each other. I don't know what's going on. It looks like all hell is breaking loose, but maybe that's just the edit, and then everybody's fine. But we'll see what happens next week.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Oh, I watched Love is Blind After the Altar, so we can talk about that after this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Update: Lindy and Miguel filed for divorce. Katina and Olajuwon are separated again, but then they're also going to be on couples. Yes, for the second time, but they're going to be on couples couch. So now people are theorizing.
Couples couch?
Yes. So apparently there's a show of old people from Married at First Sight, podcasters, and random people that sit on the couch and rewatch the episode and make comments on it. And they're on couples couch, but now they're separated again. So people are like, did they just go back together so they could be on couples couch and make some more money, and then they separated again? Maybe.
So is that on Lifetime too?
I have no idea. Apparently this is it's coming back. I've never watched this. I never even knew this existed. I don't really watch Lifetime other than this show. So maybe that's why I've never seen anything.
What is it? The 90 Day Fiance pillow?
I'm sure they
talk about. Okay.
They probably stole it from them. So, but I never watched that either. I just was like, why do I need to watch you watch what? I don't need it. I just want to watch the episode. So if y'all like it, let us know if we should be watching it. I doubt it. But tell us what you like about But I don't think I have any other updates on any of the other couples so far. So I think that makes the last couple that has stayed together Brianna and Vincent at this point from
The
Atlanta.
last couple to stay together?
Mm-hmm. And that was season 12,
Dang.
I think. And we're in season 16.
Dang.
Oh,
I'm like trying to go back. Okay, last season was San Diego, like you said, right? San
yeah.
Diego?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and the last couple just broke up, what you said. Season before that was Boston.
So that's like Lindsay, Mark, Noy, and Steve was the only people from Boston. And
Roy
no,
and
wait,
Steve, and they broke up
somebody
too.
else. Somebody
Mm-hmm.
else was there, but they all broke up. They all
Right. And then what season was before that? I don't remember.
season.
I'll
So
get
that's
confused, y'all.
what's season 13? 13. Oh, nope, that is not what I was supposed to be looking at. Sorry.
Oh, what's your little
Nothing. Houston.
Um.
Oh, that's Bao, Zach, Michaela,
Oh yeah,
Mirla,
nobody from
Gil.
there.
Yeah, the only people that said yes was the Spanish couple, and they broke up. What's their name? Rachel,
Jose.
Jose,
Oh
and Rachel.
yeah, Rachel and Rachel. Mm-hmm.
So they broke up,
Okay.
and Mirla and Gil,
Oh.
and they broke up. So I don't know why
Ooh,
they
that
said
one's going
yes,
on.
but yeah. So
Right.
that's the last couple, y'all.
Dang. And they just had a baby. I think we
Yes.
said that like one of the first episodes of the season. So okay,
Mhm.
well, dang y'all. Married at first sight. What's going on? Y'all.
Yeah, and that was the Boston was the season everybody said yes, and I was like, this seemed like some foolishness, but I don't know.
Especially Mark and Lindsay.
Yeah, I don't
Y'all,
understand.
they. Mm-mm.
But she's gonna be on
Okay.
couple's couch too. Lindsay, she got a new boyfriend. She's in
Oh.
California. You know,
Oh,
I
I
be
do
trying to
remember.
keep up. I be trying to keep
I
up.
see. Thanks, Lori, for the updates. We'll rely on you on those. All right, y'all. So that's this week's recap of Married at First Sight, season 17, season 17?
16, 16,
16.
episode
16,
7.
episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you haven't subscribed, as a reminder, please subscribe to our channel and
Yes.
hit that notification button
Yes.
so you get notification of our lives, which occur. We're on a roll so far every
We have
Sunday
been doing
at
good.
4:30.
Yes.
Last week was Super Bowl, so we moved it to Saturday, and
But
that's
we
what
were
we'll try to
here.
do if we have to.
Yes.
But this is good for us. It's working out, so we're gonna try to continue to do this every week, Sunday at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, just in case you watch it on the West Coast. And please feel free to leave a comment, chat with us, like our IG page as well, the Coily Crowns. And if nothing else, we want to remind you to do what?
Protect your throne. Bye.
Bye. See you next week.
See you next